Welcome to the Mindset Chick podcast. If you are looking to stop settling and want to gain the clarity and confidence to manifest the life and biz of your dreams, then this show is for you. I'm your host, Christy Deer, sharing with you simple yet powerful and effective mindset tips that will allow you to attract more abundance, prosperity, and success into your life. So get ready, get excited, and let's go manifest some amazing things together. Hey, and welcome back to the Mindset Chick podcast. I am so happy to have you here. And today we have a very special guest. It's one of my best friends and one of my business besties. We work this beauty business together, and we have just grown so close over the years. She is just love and light. She is called the happiness mentor. She just really spreads love and light and joy and happiness and love everywhere she goes. So when you're around her, you feel love. So I'm happy to introduce Lark Allen. Lark is a wife, mom, and explorer of ways to appreciate life and all the adventures it brings. She thought she would be a nurse forever, but after 10 years of being a labor and delivery nurse, fertility nurse, and then PACU nurse, she became burned out, overweight, and overwhelmed. She decided to become a realtor, hoping to find a little more time at home, but it was just as exhausting and not as fun as she had imagined. During that 3-year period, she found out she had fertility issues. Once her miracle baby was created, she knew that she needed to find a fun way to create a life she loved while being present with her daughter. There were some trials and life lessons along the way, and she is thankful for every moment because all of it led her to this moment in time with so much more to share with others. She is living proof that it is possible to overcome the most painful heartbreaks and deepest betrayals. She is especially looking forward to sharing what she learned over the last year that she wishes she would have known at the beginning of her healing journey. She believes we are all here to help walk one another home, and when one of us finds a path with more ease and flow, it's important to share it with the collective. So that's what she's here to do. Get ready to learn how to have the most epic love affair you've ever had, one that will last your entire lifetime and beyond. Her prayer is that you will feel more and more empowered and happy after each discussion and or podcast you have with her. And before you know it, you will be on your way to being healed into happy too. Join her on her second season of Heal into Happy as she explores how we can all co-create heaven on earth together by exploring 3 very powerful questions. So it's so great to have you back, Lark.
Thank you. I'm excited.
Yes, I'm so excited because I always enjoy talking to you, and we just have so much in common and so much in alignment with each other. And you know, this month we've been talking about love, and every time I think of love, I think of you.
That really makes me so happy because that is my daily intention, to just work on my own healing process around love and then just share everything that I'm learning with others. So that makes me so happy.
I love it. Love it. So one of the reasons why I wanted to have you on again is because you just had an amazing series. You have your own podcast, Heal into Happy, and you had a series on there called Creating Heaven on Earth. And I thought that was so beautiful. And you had me on your podcast and you were asking me questions about, you know, creating heaven on earth. And we were just sharing, and it was so beautiful. And I loved that series, and I loved your passion about creating heaven on earth. So where did that idea for creating that series come from?
Yes, it's actually ongoing. I'm in my second season. So my first season of Heal into Happy is all about the different modalities that I've utilized to help me heal into happiness. And then I was contacted by a guy named Martin Root. He lives in Canada, and he has things flagged going all over the internet when anyone talks about heaven on earth. And so some of my first season of Heal into Happy, I talk about that. And so that got flagged for him, and he reached out to me. He is a writer of Chicken Soup for the Soul and just, you know, very famous in the world of being on different shows and things like that. He's written a book about heaven on earth. And so he likes to become friends with people that are joining what he's doing and hearing about how they're contributing and if I had ever heard of him, which I hadn't. And so it was really cool. I actually bought his book about creating heaven on earth. And I asked him to be on my podcast. And he asked me the 3 questions that are in his book about creating heaven on earth that I asked you. And at the end, he says, what are you going to do to continue this? And I said, Martin, I'm so inspired by you. I'm going to have a whole second season that I bring on all of the people that are nearest to dearest to me, that inspire me. And we're going to explore this to just keep co-creating, to keep bringing it into everybody's awareness. And he was so excited. And so that's how the whole second season happened, just completely unexpectedly while he was asking me the 3 questions.
Wow. That's so beautiful. I mean, I love that, just even that saying, creating heaven on earth, because I think so many times that's not even in our awareness, like you said, in our belief. We just think, well, that's not possible to create heaven on earth. Sometimes we think of heaven as when we transition, when we leave this earth plane, and that's the time we experience heaven. But we really can create heaven on earth. And I just love what you're doing. I love how he reached out to you and found you. And it's creating so much light and love and joy to the world. And I just think it's beautiful. I love it.
I feel like, with Sophia Code and all of the things that I've learned around that, and then just thinking about Jesus and everything Jesus did, I feel like that was his message, that we all are powerful, that we can all heal. He was inspiring people by what he was able to do and letting us know that we're no different. And so if we have Christ consciousness running through us, which I believe that we do, it just makes sense that, and I feel God so excited and blessing me in so many different ways for following this path of making this part of my life's journey, passion, work, project to just do. And it's like all of these things are finding me, like Martin, to cheer me on, like you're on the right path.
Yeah, absolutely. And, one of the first questions you asked me was, when was a time that you felt like you created heaven on earth? And I thought that was so great, because sometimes we think about, oh, well, now we need to maybe create it now. It hasn't happened before, but you really got me thinking about, oh, well, there were times in my life where I felt heaven on earth. And so I love that question. It had me reflect back on, when my children were born and just that love I felt for them. So I was going to ask you the same question. When was a time for you when you felt like you created heaven on earth?
Yes. And we definitely should link your whole podcast that you did about creating heaven on earth so your listeners can hear all of the beautiful things that you shared. And I shared the same. I feel like when we become mothers, that is a heaven on earth experience. And we're literally birthing this miracle that God approved of and wanted to be here. And so it's such a beautiful experience. So that's exactly what I had said to Martin is the day that my daughter was placed on my chest. Yeah. And beyond that, I think about it all the time. Like when we're together and we're having fun and we're imagining things and praying over our Monate teams and doing all of that, we're creating heaven on earth. We're doing so much for the collective consciousness. My passion of creating my podcast and then following this path about anchoring in more Christ consciousness and love and compassion and all of that, I feel like is a daily practice that I'm doing to create heaven on earth. It's really about walking the walk, talking the talk, and it being a daily practice for it to really start flowing into your life.
Yes, absolutely. And, when you mention like when we get together, because we're business partners and, besties, when we get together, when we work on growing our business and just hanging out, we are, like you said, creating heaven on earth because we're having fun. We're feeling into our goals. We're visualizing things coming to fruition. We're feeling like we already have achieved the goals that we desire. We're laughing. We're living in the moment too, experiencing all the beauty and appreciating all the abundance around us and our time together. And literally, it's so fun. Like I always thought growing a business or like, reaching goals, you had to kind of, I talked about this month in February, like, the hustle. And really, I stepped more into the allowing, like the flow, the ease, the fun, the joy, the creating, like you said, heaven on earth, this beautiful experience, like stepping into the abundance that we already have. And when you do that, you're just opening the floodgates for more blessings to flow.
Yes. Acknowledging what we already have allows us to receive more. Just being present, I feel like that is such a huge missing puzzle piece with everybody on technology and go, 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 go. It's like people wake up in the morning and the alarm clock goes off, and then it's just like the day controls them, And so having the presence to wake up with gratitude and then just being in the moment, spreading the jam on your kids, peanut butter and jelly or something, and just being so appreciative that you have that food to provide for them as they go off to school. And I bless Stella's school and have all of the angels come around and stay with her all day. And, I feel like it's a beautiful thing, presence, and really being aware of each now moment is such a gift and something that we do really well together. And I feel like that is one of the things that has helped us manifest all of the things that we've desired.
Exactly. I know. I'm just so glad that I met, you as a friend, that we could do that together, because, you don't always find those friendships. And I wanted to say that now. I'm super appreciative of our friendship.
I'm super appreciative too. It's been such a fun journey, and every moment it just gets better and better and better. And yeah, it is such a gift. And our team is so magical. How supportive and loving. And we're literally praying for people to, live their best lives and supporting them in doing that. And that is a huge gift.
Yeah, absolutely. And in this series in February, we're talking a lot about love. And like I mentioned before, when I think of love, I think of you, Lark Allen, spreading love and joy to the world. So what are some ways that you spread love and kindness, like on a daily basis? Because I know, sometimes as moms, as wives, as entrepreneurs, sometimes we can get maybe overwhelmed or frustrated, or things can happen. So how do you, stay in that love or that joy frequency? Like, how do you continue to spread love to the world?
Mm-hmm. Well, I really feel like since the last time we talked, I guess last February, this circle of, from last February to this February, what's really different? And I would say focusing on the present moment is really where it's at. If you are completely connected to the present moment, then your interactions with so my interactions with Stella and my daughter have deepened because I'm there with her. I have really been focusing on, having scheduled time to be with my phone, to do all the things that I need to do for my business and stuff. But when I'm in the present moment with her, doing the art, dancing, singing, having fun together, when I'm with, you guys and we're having a lunch, there's something so magical about the connection of eye contact and all of the things that we can try to multitask our ways out of, where the simplest acts of love are just really listening and really being present. And that's around ourselves too, just really having compassion for where we're at and being our biggest own cheerleader is so huge to me. I think we touched on that at some point. And then just having forgiveness in every now moment. You and I have been really getting into Ho'oponopono again. That is life-changing. And just actively loving, just where I feel like I'm really dropping into my heart space in those present moments and just being just all of me. And that is an energy that a lot of people don't get to experience anymore because we're moving in 18 different directions a lot in life.
That's so true. And, I found myself sometimes getting caught up in go, 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 do, do, do. And I have to really, it's gotten so much better, but being intentional, like you said, having time for my business and putting my phone away, putting my phone on do not disturb, spending time with the family, making eye contact, really listening, really hearing people, putting, my phone up at lunch or, when we're together and just being. It's such a great energy. And I think it can be easy to get caught up in going, doing. It can be a habit and being on our phones all the time, because especially if you wear an Apple Watch, it like goes off all the time. I can't wear an Apple Watch. I can't.
I stopped all of that too.
Yeah. It's just like ding, 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 ding. And I'm like, oh, I can't do that. So, but yeah, I love that. Just being present in the moment and just loving and being available and appreciating. That's so true. And you can start small, right? If you feel like you're always going, doing, you can just start small by carving out some time to put your phone away, just stay in the present moment. Maybe go out to lunch with a friend or spend that time with a family member or something, and just put the phone down, put it away, or say like, that can wait. Or you know what? Maybe I don't need to say yes to 3 things in one night. Maybe I can say yes to one thing and have more time for myself.
Yeah. And the presence with yourself too. You know, we can schedule or, you know, do all of these things with family members and all of that. And it's amazing, but checking in with ourselves and making sure our own cup is filled. And if it's not, what can we do? Let's plan a bath. Let's have a tea, read book, you know, like all of these different things that we can do to take some time for ourselves too. And it's like 20 minutes of a good book and a cup of tea can be so transformative to the way that you interact and love everybody else that is around you.
That's so true, because you have to have your cup filled first before you can give that to anybody else. So I love that. Well, last week we talked about mirror work. We talked about that in the Mindset Chick podcast. We talked about doing some mirror work and going into the mirror every morning after you brush your teeth, looking at yourself and really finding something you love about yourself and getting in the habit of looking at yourself and saying, I love you, and picking out, you know, the beauty within yourself, your outer appearance, your inner world. And instead of criticizing, changing that habit to just send love to yourself. And I know you've talked a lot about mirror work and how you really enjoy it and you love it. So I wanted to hear from you. Why do you think that's important, and how has that changed your life?
Well, I had body dysmorphia, that I was so hard on myself about my weight or my freckles or about this, that, and the other. If there was an issue, I would find it. So mirror work has healed me from that, because I will look at myself naked and with love and compassion as much as I can. And now I sound like a nudist, like running around my house.
No, but that's great, because not everybody could do that. Like being naked in the mirror and going, girl, you look good, you know?
Yes. I love you. I approve of you. Yeah. And there's a beautiful affirmation that Louise Hay shares, and you can heal your life. And it's just so simple. I approve of myself. And so that's a huge thing that I've brought around, where I'm washing my hands and I look up and I approve of myself. I approve of you. You are amazing. You are kicking booty. And you can just go through this whole little rampage of that. And then Kaya Ra shared a beautiful affirmation that I am saying a lot. Like sometimes I'll just fall asleep. I love and accept myself just the way that I am. I love and accept myself just the way that I am. And just, you know, at least saying it 3 times, and I'll fall asleep with that affirmation, because we can spend time as we're sleeping, falling asleep and thinking about what we potentially did wrong or what we could have done better. Just surrendering to, we did the best that we could for that day, and that we love and appreciate ourselves just the way we are. It is so healing and transformative. Yeah. So those are big, beautiful things to do with your mirror work, but you don't need to be in a mirror to do it. Just throughout the day, if you hear, you know, negative Nancy in your head having something to say, you can just say, I approve of myself just the way that I am. I love myself just the way that I am. And, you know, love that part of you that's seeking attention, and then redirecting and saying, no, we're amazing. We approve of ourselves. We're doing great. You know, we're having compassion for wherever we are right now. And I hear you, but this is what's happening. We love ourselves.
That is so good. Yes. And I've really, really worked on getting in the habit of doing that, because just like you mentioned, I was super critical of myself growing up. It became a habit, you know, the way we think and how we talk to ourselves, it becomes a habit. And so I just felt like I just continued to criticize myself for so long, to getting in the habit of saying, no, I approve of myself, or surrendering something. I have a habit of second guessing myself. I'll say something and then think, oh, wait, maybe I shouldn't have said that. Maybe I should have said it like this. So getting in that habit of, like you said, no, I love and approve of myself. And I did the best I could at that moment, and I'm surrendering it. And if there's something that maybe you said or did that you feel like, oh, I could learn from that or do different, you could take those takeaways, but not beating up on yourself, not shaming yourself. But I love what you said, because that's so simple. I love and approve of myself.
Yeah. And if something's coming up that's really bothering you, then that's when the Ho'oponopono would come in, where, journal it out. And then at the bottom of that journal prompt that you're sharing about whatever really got under your skin, you can put the Ho'oponopono prayer. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. Yeah. And then you're just releasing the cords, and just imagine yourself releasing and unhooking from any of those feelings and just letting it go with love. And I've also started journaling the huge aha that I've gained from it, or, how it's expanded my comfort zone around something, or how it really transformed me, so that we're looking at that negative thing and finding a pearl of wisdom within it.
Oh, that's good. I like that you said pearl of wisdom within it. That's good. I like that. That was a good takeaway. That's perfect. So, Lark, I want to ask you, what is one of your favorite mantras? I know I've asked you before when you were back on in February on the podcast number 28, but maybe something that it could be the same one, or something that you're living by now, something that you love to say.
The biggest things that I'm saying lately are what I shared about just approving of myself, and just really focusing on having compassion and love for myself where I'm at, because we're all always doing the best that we can do in every now moment, and doing things to get me back into the present moment. It's really, really cool to make a decision to spend 5 minutes and get something that you have a tactile experience with, like deciding to peel an orange where it's just you and the orange, and how does it feel to peel it? And what does the peel smell like? And what does the orange smell like? And when you decide to put it in your mouth, just taking one little orange slice and tasting it. I feel like God put us here on this mystery school earth to have our senses be explored and appreciated. When we're an etheric angel, we don't get to taste the orange.
Yeah.
And so really having an experience in the present moment where you're utilizing all of your senses. So that's a huge mantra for me is, if I'm just discombobulated and I'm doing too many things, deciding to make that cup of tea and have the experience of making it. How does it taste? Enjoying the warmth of it, all of that stuff that you can do that really help you get totally enveloped in the present moment, where, in my opinion, what I found, that's where you feel God. You can't be like stuck in your mind in some weird loop and really feel the presence of God. God is in those moments where you're enjoying this magnificent body that he's created to give you all the sensual and physical feelings,
Yeah, that's so true. When you're going 90 miles a minute and you're thinking all the time, and you're not being present. And really what I took away from that is, such a great message. We all got to slow down.
Yes.
Most of us are trying to do way too many things in a day. Just slow down and enjoy the moment, be present. I saw on a post from one of our besties the other day, she said, from Jen, she was like, don't blink. And she was talking about her daughter going off to high school. And it's kind of, I was thinking about that. It's so true. It's like that song, don't blink. But it's like, so many of us are moving so fast, trying to do so much, trying to accomplish so much, trying to prove so much, that we're blinking 90 miles a minute, and we're not slowing down to really just savor the moment. And that's what I feel like you were sharing with us, like savor the orange, savor the moment, savor that time with your child, with that time with yourself,
Yeah, stop and smell the roses, just really enjoy yourself. And I feel like the gift really is in the present moment.
Exactly. Well, Lark, it was so amazing to have you on once again. I loved our convo. How can people find you and connect with you more?
I am on Facebook, Lark Allen. I have a website, healintohappy.com. And then you can find my podcast, Heal Into Happy, on any platform that you enjoy listening to podcasts.
Perfect. Well, thanks again, my beautiful bestie. I just loved everything that you had to share with us today.
Thank you. It was amazing. I'm always honored to be on your amazing show.
Yay. And remember, friend, to dream big, follow your heart, and never give up on you, because you're worth it. Thank you for joining me today on the Mindset Chick podcast. I hope this show has you waking up every morning excited about the new manifestations you have created in your life. And if you would honor me with a 5-star review over in iTunes, I will happily enter your name in my Mindset Chick swag giveaway. Make sure you add your name to the review and I will reach out to you if you're the winner. I really appreciate you spending your time with me. Be sure to visit me at mindsetchick.com for past episodes and more gifts that will help you to manifest your dreams into reality.